What? We've got the stilt walkers, the dancing girls, the muscly men, and the lovely ladies.
The ladies love the muscly men, right?
Absolutely. But we've got two of the biggest heavyweights in the house tonight.
I mean, these guys are so huge, they couldn't even breathe a few months ago, but they've lost weight. They're here to fight, and it's going to be a war.
I reckon it's going to be a knockout. Tomasz Czerwinski, 150 kilos, versus Darren, the powerhouse Towler.
It's going to be mental.
But the girls are all talking about Jack the Stonemason.
Oh, everyone's a little sweetheart for him, they are.
Coming up, first up, Sam Morrison versus Charlie Francis.
Next up, we have the UK middleweight war. Romelo da Silva versus Louis King.
From Wales, Chris Harmon versus from Poland, Przemysław Miszek.
Next up, we have the middleweight. Miguel Bernard versus Jack the Stone Mason.
And then we got a UK one light heavyweight title fight from Russia, Maxim Osipasov versus from Romania, Valentino Petrescu.
Lastly, we have the biggest guys here tonight, Darren Towler versus Tomasz Czerwinski.
Do you know what? I cannot wait for these fights. The crowd are pumped, the action's ready, but three guys who help me out all the time. The commentators, Rob, Just a Job Nutley, the legend himself, Ian the Machine Freeman, and John Travolta, Ben Cartledge.
But let's not forget the MC of the night, Brett Hollywood Freeman.
And again, four referees that hold the action in the cage. Our first female ref, Danielle Cousins. From the UFC, Leon Roberts, Andrew Sledge, and the man himself from Cage Fighter, Granite Grant Waterman.
Name's Sam Morrison, fighting out of Phoenix MMA Bournemouth.
Yeah, my name's Charlie Ninja Francis. I've trained out of London Shoot Fighters, 39 years old.
I'm training really hard for this fight, about 5 days a week. I live for this.
I'll be training hard for this. Train at a good camp, everything's going well, so looking forward to put on a good show. So let's get it on.
Charlie Francis, don't know anything about you, mate, but you look ripped, you look like a good contender, and may the best man win.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ultimate Challenge 22 Warriors Creed. I'm Rob, Just a Job Nutley. With me, as always, Ian the Machine Freeman and Ben the Pen Cartledge. And guys, what an exciting card we have ahead of us.
We've got a fantastic card from top to bottom as we see Sam Morrison making his way to the cage now. A fighter making his UCMMA debut, and he's taking on a very experienced fighter in Charlie Francis. It should be a real test for him, and not a lot known about this guy at the moment. So here we see his opponent, Charlie Francis. Francis coming out of the London Shoot Fighters camp, a tremendous team, a great bunch of guys for him to work with. He's got a 4-4 record, stands at 5'10", and this guy's a TKO striker with some very dangerous hands and has stopped opponents in the past, and surely that's what he'll be looking to do here tonight against Sam Morrison.
Well, Ben, like you said, he's up against Sam Morrison, a debut fighter. We know nothing about Sam Morrison. He could be an explosive man himself. He may have that TKO or that KO power. So Francis, although more experienced, he still has to beware.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cage Rage UK presents Ultimate Challenge 22 Warriors Creed, sponsored by officialwatches.co.uk. And now it's time for our first fight of the evening. Introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a record of 1 win, 1 loss. He stands 6 foot 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 76.8 kilograms, fighting out of Phoenix MMA, Sam Morrison! And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a record of 4 wins, 4 losses. He weighed in at 77 kilograms. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, fighting out of London Shoot Fighters, Charlie Francis! And when the action begins, the referee in charge is Danielle Curzon.
Touch gloves. Have you got any questions about the rules? Do you both understand no elbows to the head on the floor? Okay, defend yourself properly at all times. And when I say stop, I mean stop and listen to my commands, okay? Good luck. Touch gloves. Back to your corners.
Well, there's one thing I have to say about Francis. Look at how ripped that man is. Those guys at London Shoot must train this man hard. I mean, those muscles don't just come out of lifting weights.
Ready? Are you ready? Fight!
It's a very good point, Ian. If it was a body building contest, Francis would have won already, and he comes straight in, looking to throw hands. Very tidy looking strikes there.
That's right, Morrison with a very clean jab.
Nice leg kick there by Francis.
Like the way he set that leg kick up first with a few punches, just initiating some level changes there, and there's that leg kick again. Got to be mindful of keeping his hands up as Morrison comes forward.
Very potent jab from Morrison.
Well, as we see, Morrison definitely knows his stand-up game. I noticed he was looking down at the leg. I don't know if he was going to try and fake that he was going to shoot or kick, but then he came forward with a 1-2. So although a debut fighter, this man has definitely did stand-up before elsewhere. Oh, nice left hand.
Caught him with that jab on the way out. I like the way that he kept throwing as his man retreated.
I mean, Francis putting his hand down by his side and looking as if to see, yeah, you hit me, but it didn't do anything. But you need to be careful with the power shots like Morrison has. Nice leg kick by Francis.
Francis fighting a smart fight at the moment, chopping away at Morrison's front leg.
Well, you're exactly right, Rob. If Morrison is just a pure stand-up guy, he will not know how to stop them leg kicks, and you can't put much weight on the front leg if you get kicked. Oh, but a nice kick by Morrison as I say that.
Francis coming in with a kick again, but for me, gentlemen, he's got to be careful of that left hand. It's dropping down a little bit, and if a chopping overhand right comes from Morrison, that really could spell danger. And there's a hard leg kick.
Well, up to now, Morrison's left hand, it is the left jab and the left hook which has been his favourite punch.
Francis really going to work on that lead leg of Morrison's.
Well, Morrison's thrown kicks of his own. Like we said, we know nothing about this guy. He is a debut fighter. Is he just purely boxing, or does he know kickboxing? We've yet to see the ground game.
And I think that's a testament to how comfortable both fighters are on the feet. No attempt for takedown yet. Francis looking the more explosive, but Morrison, to his credit, showing some nice footwork and looking to capitalise on openings. Really tense affair this. Obviously both fighters mindful of what the other one's got and the stand-up, and as we say that, here comes the single leg attempt from Morrison.
And there's a huge shot over the top.
It was an uppercut underneath.
It was that left hand. We said the left hand was dangerous, and it came round and dropped Francis.
Beautiful work.
Morrison in the guard of Francis. Francis pulling off a beautiful armbar, but Morrison slams his opponent and back to its feet wisely. Morrison wants to keep this standing.
And Morrison, for me, wants to keep that pressure on.
It's that left jab and that left hook which is doing all the work for Morrison.
That's a great call, and that is a piston-like left jab coming in there, catching his man several times.
That's right, he's got very good timing with it. And again, Francis looks to shoot. Beautiful takedown.
Oh, but caught in the guillotine.
Caught very tight in the guillotine.
Morrison has a real tight guillotine.
Looking to land the shots there, but really he should be looking to try and fight those hands if he can. That looks really tight, and he's in full guard, got the legs locked.
Francis' shots seem to be weakening. Could that be a sign of oxygen leaving his body?
But does Morrison know how to finish this guillotine? Everyone knows how to do a guillotine, but to finish it correctly needs technique. The hips of Morrison needs to come up in the air. You cannot apply a tight guillotine with his hips down low like that. He needs to apply pressure by lifting up the hips and arching his head back.
From Morrison's point of view, he's got to make a decision. If he doesn't think this submission is going to finish, he doesn't want to run the risk of burning out those arms.
And that's exactly what happens, Ben. You squeeze with all your might just on the arms, and your arms get pumped up.
Francis seems to be able to find some room down there. We can see movement.
Well, you can see he's comfortable, Rob.
His head slowly seems to be popping free, and as I said, that it comes free.
But again, it just shows a testament to how hard the London Shoot Fighter guys have trained Francis. He's been dropped once already, caught in the guillotine, and now he's in the guard throwing punches. So this is a man who has been through the mill in the gym, and when it comes to getting in the cage, it becomes second nature.
Well, that's a very good point, Ian, because one thing I noticed about Francis was when he was caught in that submission hold, he didn't panic, his body didn't stiffen up. He stayed relaxed and he looked to work slowly to get himself out of there.
That's why sometimes in the gym you've got to be cruel to be kind. You know, there's times I beat up on my opponents, or should I say my students, but that's because they've got a hard time when they get in here. And if they've never been through that in the gym, how do you expect them to get through that in the cage?
Well, it falls to that old cliche, train hard, fight easy, but not an easy fight in the cage right now.
And here we see the replay. Francis coming in with that kick, and there's that left hook, and as you called it perfectly, it's a short chopping left hook, and he followed it up with that jab. That's where he's had the success.
The left hand has been perfect. There's the hook, boom, the big left hook that's dropped. How we never finished him off there, but the clear head of Francis, obviously like I said, he's been there before, shoots for a single and then gets caught in the guillotine. Just a little bit inexperience for Morrison because the guillotine was on, but he just didn't know how to finish it.
And Francis did the right thing, a beautiful trip there as he had the single leg, but did find himself. And Morrison here was really looking to squeeze at that point, but Francis was landing strikes.
So both fighters will know what the other has to offer.
Well, I think the slight edge in that first round could have went to Morrison. He got the knockdown, he got the submission attempts, but Francis cleared the knockdown and he cleared the submission. So how are the judges looking at this?
Let's be honest, gentlemen. Morrison,
oh, there's that left hook again.
Left hook again. Morrison putting on a fantastic showing for himself. His first show here at Ultimate Challenge, and he's really pulling out all the stops. And like you're saying, those punches from the left-hand side, the jab and the hook are landing beautifully.
It's a lightning combination. He's obviously worked on intensely in the gym, got it down to a T.
I mean, Francis has great stand-up. You know, it's just his hands just coming a little bit too low for an experienced stand-up fighter like Morrison.
Oh! It's Francis that lands the big shot. Morrison on his back.
And that was a beautiful strike in transitions. Maybe to the mount position, but Morrison a very good job of locking up that half guard as the leg came back over there. That's remarkable composure.
It's as if Francis heard me. I said he's got great stand-up himself, but his hands were just a little bit low, and he thought, I'm going to prove you wrong, Freeman. This is where my hands are going to go, and it's going to connect on Morrison's head.
And now we'll see what Francis can do from the top. So he rains down a few short shots, looking to extricate that leg and move round, maybe to the side control position. Another half guard's wide open as he steps out in the mount, and this is bad news for Morrison.
Yeah, an experienced guy like Francis will know exactly what to do. He's got both hooks in. You can hear the corner men of Francis telling Francis to flatten his man out. That's what you need to do. You flatten him out so he can't move. This renders your opponent useless, and a nice free. Oh, I thought that was in deep.
Morrison can't really have a lot left here. Francis raining down the strikes. Referee taking a lot of look at the action there. As Francis landing strike after strike.
Morrison in trouble. Referee calling to him as he goes to his knees. Francis will look to possibly set the choke in.
And there's one underneath. That was a beautiful shot underneath the armpit, straight to the chin. Morrison's in all kinds of trouble here.
Pure domination. Francis in full control in the second round. I think it will be over. I'm sure the referee is going to step in.
Francis happy to punish his opponent instead of looking for the submission from this position.
And wisely so.
The referee looking in closely.
Well, the referee shouting, defend, 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 and it's over. She tells the fighters it is over. And this is the strike, the left hand himself that Francis threw. But Francis' ground game on top was a lot better than what Morrison's. He took advice from his corner, and that was to flatten out Morrison. Once you're flattened out like that, there's nowhere to go. And the referee calls it, it's over.
But it was a great debut from Morrison. Unfortunately, he just didn't do enough to capture the victory, but definitely capture the future here at Ultimate Challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Referee Danielle Curzon calls a stop to this contest at 2 minutes 36 seconds. In the second round, declaring your winner by TKO, fighting out of London Shoe Fighters, Charlie Francis!
Charlie, what a fight. I mean, did we expect that from you? Yeah, that was incredible. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Trained really hard. I believe I've got the best camp. London Shoe Fighters. I want to say a big thanks to my coaches, Alexis, Paul, Steve, Andy. Big thanks to my partner, Becky. She put up with me with all this. I want to say a big thanks to everyone who supported me and come out. One more thing, because I know a lot of you don't know, but the proceeds of this fight, all my proceeds for this fight, is going to cancer research. I'm not taking anything back. So I just thought I'm pushing a bit old, I'm pushing on now in age, so I want to do a few more fights and give back to charity. So thanks for everyone, and a big thank you from cancer research as well.
Wow, you know what? That is a true gentleman, Charlie Francis. God, I love him. And Charlie, is it true you got 6 kids? I can't believe it. A dad, a this, a that, and cancer. God, I love you, Charlie. But coming up next, these two guys don't like each other, and they are the best at their business. All they do is knock people out. This one is Romelio de Silva versus Louis K1 King.